Let me pick the questions. So hello YouTube, hello guys again. So I'll explain a bit how TNT works for you, Ruben, and the guys on YouTube because they maybe don't know how it works. TNT is a platform to talk language. Here we talk Spanish, French, Italian, Portuguese, Chinese, Germany, English, and I don't know which one more, but it comes in my mind for now. So it's not a class. I'm not a teacher. I'm here to learn as you. I'm just here to guide the conversation, bring the questions, and maintain everything correct. So I'm a support to you in your process in that conversation. So as I said before, today we're gonna talk about memory. I always send the questions on the chat about the topic, but we don't need to follow them. If we start to talk a different thing, and feel free, guys, feel free to say everything you want. And of course, be polite with each other because it's the most important thing here, to be polite and enjoy the process, enjoy the conversation. Yeah, every meeting we start to present ourselves. My name is Deborah. I'm a pharmacist. I live in Itapira, state of São Paulo, countryside. But I was born in Porto Velho, Rondônia. I lived in Minas Gerais for a long time because I studied there, and now I'm living in São Paulo due to my work. So in my free time, I use it to read books, watching animes, reading mangas, watching movies, series, and most of the time I spend my free day at home. But when I have the opportunity to go out to travel, I love it. And Márcio, can you present yourself for us, please?
Yes, you can. So my name is Márcio Aaron, and I was born in Bahia, in Northeast, but I live in São José dos Campos, countryside of São Paulo. I'm a musician. I play music instruments since my childhood, but I love to play bass, and because really different instrument about the hit ones, for example. And so I'm a warehouse leader. I'm married. I have a children. I ride a bike twice per day, Sunday to Sunday. I love to ride a bike with my daughter or alone. And that's it. In my free time, of course, I really like to sleep well. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing, Márcio. And you, Alessa?
Hi, my name is Alessa. I'm from Botucatu, São Paulo. I'm 28 years old. I live for my husband, my pets. It's Azul, my house. I have dog, cat, bird, a turtle. Oh, I love it. I'm a secretary and I study English and Spanish in the Talk Talk.
And you, Maria?
Hello everyone, my name is Maria. I'm 20 years old. I'm from Salvador, Bahia, and I'm also a house here in Spanish Merchant. So every Monday at 6 p.m. if anyone want to come, you are invited to do this. And I like to talk language. I like to be in talk and talk is good. I like. That's it.
Thank you for sharing, Maria. And Ruben, you present yourself first. So let's start our conversation. Guys, did you receive the questions in the chat? Okay, so the question number 1 is, what is the best memory you have? Maria, can you start the question number 1?
Yes. Um, I don't have just one memory, but memories about childhood or a time with friends. I'm a very good with when I'm talking to someone, I can remember those things later. I don't know explain why. I can't explain why, but I remember. If you say that I like the red color, I will remember that. So always happen in my mind. But I think that the majority of my memories I link it with good time, friends, family, a time that I was laughing a lot, things like that, I think.
Yeah. When you thinking about best memory, we always it's always relate our childhood, right, guys?
Yeah.
Me, it's the same because when I was a child, I remember when I go out of my house and play with my friends, beds. I don't know it's in English, but beds. It was so good to play that in my childhood. For me, it's the best memory that I have. And of course, now in that new phase, I have good things, but nothing win my childhood, and because we didn't have any responsibility. It's just to go to school and play later, that sometimes study, of course, but most of the time we just play at school or at home. So for me, it was the best. It's my best memory. And you, Ruben, the question number one.
What's I'm not sure if it's the best memory, but it's one that has influenced me a lot. When I was a kid, we planned a trip. It was with schoolmates, and it was supposed to be a shiny, bright day, and suddenly it began raining. So it rained all the way. So we were on the woods, and everything was completely wet, and the fog was amazing because we couldn't see each other. And so I was like in the woods in the Andes, and it was magical because I was like in a fairy tale. Like with castles, and so just being in the woods with the rain, and kind of like walking, watching the portals, and jumping was good. I still remember that day. So it was connected to my childhood as well as you.
That's cool. That's cool, Ruben. And you, Márcio?
Yeah, my best memory was as a kid and talk with my grandmother. She's really funny about your opinion, about the you make coffee, you know. And my grandma told me about the to drink coffee without sugar because they say I like, and good memory. My my grandmother, I miss about the your opinion, your talk, your making coffee and food, for example. Yeah, it's really funny. And also uh, play at football. It's rainy, Yes, I like it a lot with my friends and watch the cartoon, for example, Dragon Ball Z. I was addicted. You know, yes. I'm about my child really good.
That's great, Márcio. And you, Alessa?
I think it's was a child. My dogs, Nina, Dalmata. I got her when I was 5 years old, and she stayed with me until I was 8. Desculpa, fugiu a palavra 18. And she was very important. It's my love, and I play with her, and it's a mark in my life.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, you guys. Every history about one memory that you have. So you had, so and have yet, because it's inside of us for every forever. So the question number 2 is who was your most memorable teacher, bad or good? Well, my memorable teacher, it was chemistry teacher, because her, I'm a pharmacist now. I'm a passionate about chemistry due to her. So for me, she's the best forever. Of course, I had a lot of teacher that helped me a lot. Of course, now I'm a pharmacist due to every teacher that I had, but she is memorable for me because due to her, I'm a pharmacist and I love chemistry. So yeah, it's about me. And hello, Alex. Can you hear me? Maybe not. So let's continue our conversation. Márcio, can you answer the question number 2?
Yeah, was I don't know. And memorable teacher. Yeah, memorable teacher. My dad, because good or bad, sometimes taught me any instruments, and my dad a lot, and yeah, and now taught me a lot and instruments, and because they good, yeah, good. I think 70% and bad and 30% because he is persistent about me, about the uh, I train a lot of instruments, good memorable when I was a kid, and so sometimes fighting about the mm, mm, don't study instrument, yeah, yeah, it's really good, and my dad and my dad and my teacher about the instruments, yeah, in today too.
And you, Ruben?
The most memorable teacher I had was a school teacher. She taught me through many situations. We became friends. I used to go to our house eventually every day, and we ended up being good friends. So we still have contact, not so often as I wish, because I'm kind of like autist in that. For example, I live in the present and I tend to forget about people. So it's a bad thing about me. But whenever I remember the things we lived together and everything she saw me through, and many situations she guided me through lots of great moments. So I still treasure that in my memory. So it's a very dear memory I have. School teacher.
That's great, Ruben. And you, Maria?
I had good teachers and bad. I think it's normal to have bad teachers. But I remember the most memorable one was an history teacher. He was so good. He always talk about history. I like history. I think that's so interesting to know what has happened in the world, and it's really important. And he always said some advice, but I remember too an English teacher that I had when I used to do an English class in a course called Akbel. They're so famous. And she was so good at that teacher. She did even English or about her life, so interesting. And she had passed like 4 years in China, and she even know how to speak Chinese. And I consider it good because it's a hard language that for me, for example. And she was incredible good. And I remember another teacher that she had in Verbal English. But I consider those, of course, there are more and sociology teacher that I had that was so famous in that school in that time. And I consider those, but bad I always have. We all have bad teachers who don't know how to teach even in college. And I consider it's boring. Have boring class and boring, you know. But I consider that is so.
That's great. And are you a polyglot?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I just know English and Spanish, but I'm still learning, and I have to do to develop. I love.
I get it. And you, Alyssa?
I had a English teacher in the high school, Erica. It was because of her that I started studying languages and English. I love the way she taught and talked. It it was very important for me. I I learned English. It was born. It's with her. It's very interesting. So I grateful for the meet Eric.
And you, Alex, can you say something now?
Hello, teacher. Uh, how do you hear me? For me?
It's
Hello,
it's the question number 2.
number
Uh,
two.
is who was your most memorable teacher, bad or good?
Um, I many memories bad. I many memories good. One memory good. Um, I have one teacher. In university. Today is my friend. Uh, my friend. Uh, my friend. My My mentor. In memory bad. Uh, I don't remember, teacher. Sorry.
No
At
problem,
the
no problem,
moment,
Alex. No
this moment,
problem.
I don't remember.
Yeah, yeah, because we have a lot of teachers and it's difficult to remember the most memorable. So I get you, Alex. Uh, let me see. The question number 4. How do you want people to remember you? Well, I can start. In my case, I want people remember me as a funny person, who's uh, have empathy, uh, have fun, and any situations, have fun in any areas. What else? Well, for me, yeah, if someone remember me as a funny person or a fun, it's for me it's the best because I'm trying to always put a smile in my face. I always try to maintain people more up, so I like to do that. I like to do people happy. So I would like to people remember me as a person who's help them and have empathy. So that's it. Márcio, the question number 4.
Yeah, I think about me was good conversation. For example, about the opinion, I pay attention the um, opinion the other people. For example, um, maybe funny, you know. Yeah, everything. And people remember about me and pay attention about the good communications, the football, for example, politics and musical. Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. And you, Alyssa?
I hope well. I try to help people and always be respectful. So, uh, uh, it's a difficult question for me.
Yeah, it's difficult because when you try to say good things about you, it's difficult. But when you put it in words, bad thing, it's more easy to critique yourself than say good things about you. I understand you, Alyssa.
It's true.
And you, Maria?
Uh, yeah, like you said, it's kind of hard to say what I would expect that people think about me because opinions is change all the time. So, for example, Alyssa see me right now and she can say, "Ah, I didn't like this girl. She's straight," for example, and it's just her impression. I can't change that. So I don't know. I want to be remembered as someone who's a good person who likes to talk a lot. I really like this. Like to be like to learn about things, understand how things work. I consider it incredible. And it can be someone to talk, to love, talk about some random subjects and be fun, just relax, enjoy the time. That is, but it's kind of hard to say. I want that people remember this of me. And relate with that, we are as afraid, for example, if I die now, if someone remember me, it's kind you'll be think about that all the time. It's kind of complex.
And when we die, people remember us as the best person in the world. I mean, sometimes you do bad things in your life, but when you die, everything is forget.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And you, Alex, the question number 4. How do you want people to remember you? I can't hear you.
Sorry.
No, I can't.
No, I can't.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Uh, I remember hard working. Um, um, I this is fun. This is like a play games or that is teacher.
Thank you for sharing, Alex. And you, Ruben?
Oh, oh, I suppose I like to be remembered as someone who made a positive difference, perhaps left the world a bit better than I found it, whether through kindness, wit, or maybe just a good cup of tea shared with friends, or folks would call me as someone who brought a bit of light into their lives. So I think I reckon that we just find it would be rather splendid if I were remembered as a bit of a character, someone with a twinkle in the eye and a story for every occasion. Perhaps as someone who embraced life's adventures with gusto and encourage others to do the same. Uh, and of course, a good old-fashioned sense of humor wouldn't miss either, really. So that's what um, well, I hadn't thought about that, but I think it's a very deep question because it kind of like puts you in the essence of what's the meaning of your life, why you're here for. So it's a very reflective question. It makes you think think about the priorities in life and who really and the loved ones and the people who you who you love the most. So I think it's a very nice question. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. We want people remember us, but as I said, just people who love me most or love you most will remember us. So, and they will think the best about us. The rest is just rest, right? So it is important to live our lives without thinking a lot about what the other people thinking about us, because in the end of that, it's just our parents, maybe just our mother that remember us. So yeah, we want that people remember us, but sometimes it's not that happen because we are just important for our parents, our family sometimes. The question number 7 is, are computer making our ability to remember better or worse? Give some examples. Ruben, can you start the question number 7?
Can you repeat the question, please?
The question 7.
Are computers making our ability to remember better or worse? It depends. For example, I work online, so I've seen how using computers, it's becoming a fad and something, a tool which is very important for organization, for keeping tracks of our agendas, for example, for working. But I remember that the more time I used to spend in front of a computer, the less productive I felt. So I think I've seen people developing learning difficulties, because I think human interaction, face-to-face encounters are very important for our neuron connections. So I think computers are a great tool because it allows us to thrive and build all the kinds of connections. But in regards to making, creating or making our abilities stronger, I think I doubt about it. I think it's becoming, is making us more, I would say, weak, because the more time we spend in front of computers, for example, screens, I think it affects our reasoning and our memory in a long term. Well, that's what I've been noticing. You know?
I agree with you, but that is different point of view, because we have more facility to remember things, because, for example, to learning a language, we have a lot of apps to help us with flashcards and repetition about the topic. You learn it more easy, but if you don't use it with wisdom, maybe you lost your knowledge. So because we spend time seeing thing that it's not bringing like how I said that, not bringing us not good things, but oh, I don't know. It's not the word that I want to talk, but it's okay to say good things, because we pass time seeing things as TikTok and don't use it that device to learning things and stronger that knowledge. But it's different point of view, because it depends how you use the internet, how do you use that all technology. So that's it. And you, Maria?
So I agree with you, right? And if you, for example, if you use ChatGPT to search something, it's good. You know, you have the information so fast. But if you just use that, if you want try to remember things, we won't learn, because we have two memories, short-term memory and long-term memory. So we have to put information the long-term memory. So we have to do review with force. Of course, computers can help with. And for example, if you use Anki, that's an app that can make reviews for you, add space for repetition, and it's getting good. But like Ruben said, sometimes, and Deborah, sometimes you can spend your time and the Instagram, and it can be a little hard for us to escape from that screen, because we're always being stimulated, and it's kind of good for the brain. And I don't know, depends how you use it, but I have to admit that nowadays it's kind of hard to be predictable, to be in the real moment, and to do things, because you are always stuck in your mobiles and advice, since it's a little hard, but depends how you use this.
It's not just about our memories, but our concentration. You lose our concentration so easy. So nowadays it's difficult to maintain for 1 hour seeing a class, for example, in front of your computer or in front in person. But you spend one hour seeing I don't know in English is besteiras on the internet.
Totally agree with this.
That's it. And you, Márcio?
Yeah, computer is today really necessary our life, for example. But it's dependent the me, myself. It's dependent myself because when I see good things, it's good. But when I see bad things, I don't know. Yeah, so really important today, but it's dependent myself. When I, example, study now, I enjoy the internet, for example, the technology, and express my opinion, for example. Yeah, I think our computer it's good, but it's dependent on myself.
Thank you. And you, Alyssa, what do you think?
I think the internet it helps us because I'm a secretary and for example, I put in agenda with my manager birthday with the employer, and so I think as we get older, the tendency is to forget things. And the internet it help us for this, the calendars, agenda, Facebooks with me, birthdays helped a lot. So I think this uh, pensar como que eu explico it's help it's one thing it's help uh, us with the things in my opinion the computers help us a lot in the
I agree with you, Alyssa. It's helping us a lot with our compromise, right? Because just pop out in your screen and you remember, whoa, I have a compromise now, or whoa, I have a compromise 2 days later. So yeah, it's helped us because in the past we use it to put it in a paper, right? Using a planner, a planner. And sometimes we forget our planner in some place and we don't control our compromise. So it's helped us a lot as well.
yeah, and I when I forget the birthday or the meeting, it's my mind um, sabotando, and the computer it's não deixa isso acontecer.
Yeah, that's true. The that technology help us. So it have a lot of others devices, others technology that help us in different areas, but I don't remember now. But we have a lot. And it's not just bad things, but it's bringing good things as well. So as everybody said here, it depends how you deal with that, how you use that technology. So if you use it with wisdom, it's a powerful technology in your hand. So the question number 10 is the ability to memorize a lot of things important? Why or why not? Maria, can you start the question number 10?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, a minute. I forgot Alex to answer the question. Sorry.
No problem, teacher. Okay. I I think computers are our second my second mind, because your programs that help remember good moments, that help in our our work. Um, that is, teacher.
Thank you for sharing, Alex. And now, Maria, can you continue? Sorry for interrupting
Okay, no
you.
problem. So this question is interesting because it will say a lot of things. Depend, for example, if am I a doctor, not necessarily need to learn about a lot of things about history, but I consider this just my opinion now. That is good to learn about different subjects, learning a bit about biology, not necessarily biology, for example, nutrition, what type of foods I need to eat, things like that. That, for example, financials, learn about a little of marketing, things like that that are usual for us, but not necessarily need to learn about things. But if it is in your field, like I said, if I'm a doctor, I learn a lot of things. But depends how you use that. Sometimes people just like to learn, and I consider it's good, but not necessarily need to learn it. We don't need to learn about everything because we will doing this for the rest of our lives and we won't learn it at all because the more you learn, the more you say so that you don't know nothing and it's kind of a complex.
Yeah, I agree with you, Maria. Uh, and it's different when you say about memorize and learning. Of course, we don't learn everything, but and it's better learning than memorize, because if you learn, you memorize the thing. So yeah, I think it is important. So that ability to learn, change the memorize for learn. It is important to have that ability to learn a lot of things, because how much you learn, you increase your knowledge and you help people, as you said, Maria, about doctors. They need to know many things to help the people. So, but of course, it is important to filter, put a filter in what it is important to learn. So, and focus on in one area. And sometimes if you just wanna have a general knowledge, you can learn, but no, so uh so inside, it's not so inside, it's inside of of everything. Just one, for example, my area is chemistry, so I'm learning chemistry, and I learning more chemistry than other areas, so I'm good at it. And but I don't know everything about that, and I don't need to know everything about that as well. So as Maria said, it's important to learning. It's just that, and when you learn, you memorize. So yeah, that's it. And of course, learning other areas as well, but just for curiosity sometimes, because we are multidisciplinary per people. So it is important to have a different point of views in different areas, not to learn everything about everything. And you, Ruben?
Well, I suppose it depends on who you ask, doesn't it? Some people might say it's jolly useful, like, knowing where you left your keys or what time a football match starts, for example. Others might reckon there's more than life than keeping track of every little detail. I personally think that as long as you remember the important stuff, like your mom's birthday or how to brew a proper cuppa, I think you're doing fine. Also, forgetting is part of memory. In order to remember, we need to forget because it's part of the same muscle. So, for example, we need to give space our brains to forget the things it considers a need to be forgotten. So, for example, studying a word today doesn't mean that I will remember it in the future. Probably I won't. So I think there's so much emphasis in this culture that we've got to be good. We've got to develop good memory. We don't have to, because forgetting is part of life. Besides, remembering everything is a disease, we can't just remember everything. It's not human possible. So I think it's we need to forgive ourselves more whenever we forget, because I used to be very concerned in the past whenever I couldn't remember a fact, but then I started forgiving myself more, like, okay, it's okay if I don't remember, it's because it wasn't that important. So I think it's important, but not that important either.
Yeah. Yeah, it is important for forget things. And if you use correct constantly something, you will remember that. So it's important. And we don't have the the memory, the elephant's memory, right? Because it's a good thing because we pass bad things in your lives and good
I
things as
do.
well. So uh, if you have the memory of the elephant's memory, maybe you will a sad person because you pass many things. People say many things for us, and sometimes we just I want to forget it forever. So it is important to forget as well, Ruben. Thank you for sharing. And you, Márcio?
So yeah, memory is important, but very important about myself. It's really important. Hard work, and because uh, you train a lot and you learn, yes, of course, but the hard works and it's a process and our life, yes, because good memory, I think it's hard, in my opinion, because the any occasion our life and so job and family, I don't know anything, but hard work and persistence is important about me.
Yeah. And you, Alex? I can't hear you.
Sorry.
I
Discussion
can now.
discussion 9?
10.
10? Um, yes, I I I think I think this very important, this ability very important because um, uh, each person will remember events or this event from different angles. Uh, that is teacher.
Alex? Okay. So, and you, Alessa?
I think remembering things and data is human, and forget is too. Some things work for the coexist and are good to keep, such as the commemorations dates, birthday, special dates, place. So it's important, but it's normally forget, you know?
Yeah, I agree. So guys, time is over. I'm glad to have you here today. I hope you have a great weekend and a new week as well. So thank you for coming today. So bye bye, guys. Bye bye, bye bye. See you.
Bye-bye.